Hello, my name is Xiao-Yin, and welcome to How Can We Take on the Next Normal? This is a 7-part series brought to you by GIC, and it is specially designed for anyone who's trying to navigate their way forward into an uncertain, unknowable future. If you are looking for a set of solid principles that can help you just process out some thoughts and clarify some actions, then I think this will be a useful series for you. This is the final session of a 7-part series. In this session, we're just going to draw some final conclusions about why is it so hard for some of us to move on from one normal to a next normal, despite everything that we know, despite everything that we have learned. Throughout this whole series, we have unpacked 5 broad principles that you can use as a roadmap to help you move forward and make decisions as you navigate this strange country called the future. Take the long-term perspective, focus on value first, not price, leverage strengths, not weaknesses, be risk-aware, not risk-avoidant, and prepare for the future, don't predict. These 5 principles are simple enough to understand, but the execution will definitely be difficult because the situation that you're facing will be ever-changing and there'll be so many permutations that you are trying to deal with every day. What can encourage us to keep moving forward is to embrace the idea that the future is uncertain. It is uncertain for everybody. And so we shouldn't try and chase after or seek certainty because certainty is a fantasy. Clarity, though, is completely possible. And clarity doesn't mean 100% clarity. It means every day we get clearer and clearer and clearer about something. And that's why these principles are super useful. They help to make certain things clearer. And it helps us to take charge of creating our own clarity. The realm of greatest control and clarity is over our own selves. And what is always very useful for any one of us to do is to learn to tackle what is within our control first, before tackling what is beyond our control or tackling someone else. What is within our control is, are we suffering from short-termism? Can I change that with a long-term perspective? Am I suffering from a lack of price awareness or price discipline? Maybe I need to understand my values or what is the value of this thing that I'm trying to do. Am I struggling with defensiveness over my weaknesses? Do I need to become better acquainted with my strengths and learn to leverage on them and stop armoring up? Do I have issues of risk avoidance? Maybe I need a healthier relationship with risk. Maybe I need a healthier awareness of risk. And last of all, do I depend too much on predicting the future rather than actually taking some clear steps of preparation? When we have begun to do this work of creating more and more clarity for ourselves, that is when we are better prepared to offer more clarity for other people. And when we're offering our clarity to other people, remember, be clear and be kind. When we are clear without being kind, people don't really want to listen to us. Of course, when we are being kind and we are being actually pretty unclear, that is not helpful either. So be clear and kind. Don't be nice. Nice can often be a code for being unclear and therefore unkind. So what you want to do is learn to make clear and kind statements, clear and kind requests, clear and kind offers, and ask clear and kind questions. That is a great way of learning to work with others, especially when you're dealing with so much uncertainty and tensions can get really high because nobody likes dealing with the unknown. Once you've chosen a set of principles that give you more and more clarity, you can finally learn how to act consistently as far as you can. And actually, the more consistently you act according to your principles, the more clarity you give yourself and the more clarity you give to other people. And that can be a very comforting thing when the future is so nerve-wracking. Your consistency can give someone a secure enough foundation to start working on a future together. Also remember that in an uncertain future, especially one where there is crisis constantly looming, Not everyone is going to be thriving here. When times look very scarce and uncertain, that is when people's dysfunctions or your dysfunctions will start to surface. And you want to model compassion and care, not just for yourself, but for the ones that you work with. I find that this table is a very useful one. You may want to pause just to take in this table of the difference between someone who is thriving, surviving, struggling, and in crisis. And wherever you are or wherever a person may be on this chart, you don't want to judge them harshly for it. It is what it is. Recognize it, acknowledge it, empathize with it, and learn to help each other through. Because everybody wants to get into a space of thriving, and everyone needs time. And to get to thriving, we need to take a really long-term perspective to things. We need to know what we value, who we value. We need to leverage on each other's strengths. We need to offer each other our strengths. We need to take some risks. All relationships have risks. And we need to better prepare for whatever that the future may bring. And we shouldn't waste time trying to predict each other's behavior. Instead, we should better prepare for the conversations that we really want to have with each other. With that, this whole series has come to a close. I hope that somewhere in these sessions, you have found things that you could immediately apply, and it has been helpful not just for you, but for other people that you care about. This is the very last session of a 7-part series brought to you by GIC. If you found this session useful, then please watch the rest of the series. And please forward it to someone who you believe would find it useful too. Wherever you may be right now, wherever you want to go into the future, I hope you don't go at it alone. Instead, find people who love you, who support you, who encourage you, and are willing to journey together with you into this future that you long to see. This whole series has been brought to you by the GIC, and I'm grateful I got to journey together with you. May your future be bright, and may it be a blessing to everybody who surrounds you. Thank you very much.